What's up, guys? Is the bull market back on? That's what we're going to talk about. Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin. I'm going to make this a very quick video. First, we're going to go through Bitcoin. Then we're going to look at the Dow Jones, DXY, gold, silver, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP at the end. So definitely stick around for the whole video. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. You guys let me know what you think of the quick videos in the comment down below. When there's not a whole lot of crazy action going on, would you rather just see these quick videos during the day? And remember, we will also be doing, I'll start again tomorrow. If we get 1,000 likes on the video, then we'll do a altcoin video live later in the day. So don't forget that. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe if you haven't already. You can give me a follow on Twitter. It's at CryptoSavvy1. And there's a free Discord in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. But let's look at the Amazon to Bitcoin chart comparison. As you guys know, I think we could be making the same pattern as the bubble pop. And if you want to know the whole explanation, watch my last few videos. I think on December 2nd, I made the first one explaining the whole thing. Go back and check those out if you haven't already. But as we were expecting, we did get a bounce off the orange. We did fall through it. So as you guys know, I think that once we pierce a trend line, that eventually we're just going to break through it. We'll see if that holds to be true. I do still think we are going to see much lower lows, in my opinion, but there are some areas we need to watch, and we're going to talk about those. First of all, on the daily here, we have the 55 EMA. That's going to be around the 43.7 range. And then, of course, we get back up into our smaller EMAs, the 8s around the 48,000. And we did a measurement of this yesterday, saying this could possibly go to the 0.5 fib, just like this did here. That was a big one too. Could that be what's happening? That's a possibility. How high would that bring this? We talked about it yesterday. I'll let you know again but we have key levels. We'll look at it in the 4 hours that we would have to get to before then. So let's take a look at it. That would be the 5 EMA. That's around the 54.4 range. That also lined up with that big macro I showed you in yesterday's video. But let's get into it. Let's get into the smaller time frames, see what might be happening here. So as you guys know, here's our 55 EMA. We didn't quite tag it. It's at about 43.3. We're back above our old target, which was our old support at 42.5. But if this holds, our next point is going to be, the break is going to be that 43,400 area. If we can blow through there and hold support, our next target is retesting this channel we fell out of, and that is at 45.5 range, 45.6, 45.5, right in there. Now again, if we get back above this, then we might get a little bullish again, and we could be looking for those 50 to mid 50 range that we've been talking about. But as of now, unless we get above this 55 or 45.5, I don't think we're going to go up there. I think we still have more of a chance of hitting these targets first. But keep an eye on this 42.5. We break back below that, that's going to become heavy resistance again. And I do believe we'll be headed down towards that 39, which is the target of this channel right here that we fell out of. So I'm still looking for that before we come up to retest this 45.5. But if we get above the 45.5, then we're back in here. If you're not in a trade right now, I suggest not getting into one in this area. Again, if we break that back down below that 42.5 and turn that into resistance, I think we're going to see the 39. If this holds as support, we could see as high as the 45.5. Hope you guys got that. Let's zoom in a little bit. If you guys want to know how I got these targets, you can go back a couple videos. Like I said, I wanted to make this quick update. So if we look here from this peak right here to this peak here, we are getting some hidden bearish divergence, which is the RSI higher than the RSI is making higher highs, price action is making lower lows. That is hidden bearish divergence. So if we do break back below this 42.5, that'll probably confirm that we may be coming down to those lower lows. Now again, if we break back above this 55.5 around 43.4 area and get support, we're probably headed to that 45.5. Otherwise, we get back below this 42.5, make it resistance, then I'm looking for these targets still down below 37 and 39. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out PrimeXBT. By far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you like the scammy exchanges. Look up A book and B book exchanges. I did a video on it a while back. But anyways, if you guys want to do that, Definitely check it out. You can trade crypto, forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything, all from one exchange. You can have multiple trades in, longs and shorts, all at the same time. They don't clump them together like the scammy exchanges. Definitely check it out, guys. I do have a link down below. You'll notice that's the only exchange link because it's the only ones I actually trust. The other ones are pretty shady with their scam wicks and stuff. Anyways, check it out. My promo code is Savvy25. You can get 25% off. I'll be coming up with a great promo code that even the people that are already signed up with Prime will be able to use. I should have it by the end of this week, if not by next week. But for right now, you can still use the 25 to get your 25% off for trading fees. There is a tutorial down here on my YouTube page. There's a few. These are all free tutorials. There's some on using EMAs, some on the RSI, finding patterns. Definitely check them out. They're really old videos. I made them all in one night before going on vacation. I was extremely tired, but they still have some great info if you guys want to check them out. But like I said, if you look at the PrimeXBT one, it'll tell you where to put the promo code. It'll also tell you how to adjust your margin. A lot of people get confused on there. It's very simple. There's a simple calculation. Definitely check it out. And let's get into the weekly. So on the weekly, after this, I do want to show you something on the daily that people were talking about before that still could be playing out. But we'll talk about that in a second. But first, this is our candle. If you remember, I said if we have a weekly open and close below this 30 or 43.9 area, and that's open and close below that 55 EMA on the weekly. So this candle would have to close there. So we could get a huge pump. If you look back here, I just want you guys to be aware of this. This candle here that bounced off the orange trend line, that was the big run up to, like, let's say 50 to 54,000. That should happen, if it's going to happen, by the end of next week, possibly this week. Just get one big rally and then a bounce off here and come back down if it plays out like that. So we'll see where this weekly closes. If it closes below this 43.9, that's pretty bearish, guys. Like I've been saying, you could probably look for these areas. And if you look at the RSI right here, the RSI did make a head and shoulders, and we did pop below the trend line. And right now, if we close in this area this week, Sunday, and we do not close above this, that's probably going to the bearish side. If we close above it, then we could be bullish. But anything closing below this trend line, pull up your weekly chart, put that in there. It'll be a good guide for you. Then we could probably be looking for these lower lows that you guys know I had been showing in my main video, this rising broadening wedge. That is the measured move down in that area. So let's look at the daily though real quick. Get the RSI off there. And as you can see, I know a lot of people were talking about a head and shoulders with this being the right shoulder here. That's still a possibility. If you drew that in there, I just don't like that this wick broke through right here. But if you drew that in there, that would put the target of the rejection area about 47.5. But I believe that it may be make a little more sense if it was more a straight trend line here. And if you did that and you did a measured move, if we do break this low down here, that measured move would be all the way back down to around the 10,000 range. But before we talk about that, that would mean that this is just the head finished and we are forming the left or the right shoulder. That would go along with saying that we have one more big push up before coming down, which would agree with the Amazon chart. Not to say that has to happen. Like I said, the 4 hours where you want to be watching right now. What I just talked about a little earlier. Hope that's not too confusing. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Like I said, this is just a quick update. I will be doing a longer live tomorrow. Also, you guys check out my wife's webpage, inkimage.com. Links down below. Awesome stuff on here, quality stuff. Give it a run through, all kinds of different things on there. Definitely check it out. And this is the Dow Jones. As you can see, we have some pretty big bearish divergence here. Lower highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action. That's on the daily. Remember, we have been talking about possibly coming back up to test this trend line. We did not hit it here. If that's the case, then Bitcoin could be doing that run up by the end of this week or next week if this happens. If we do run up here come up and tag this trend line. Shouldn't be much higher than 37.1. Now, for you bulls out there, if that breaks on the Dow, we do have a measured move higher of around 40,000. That would be pretty damn bullish for all markets. Although I don't think that's what's going to happen. It's definitely a possibility. Keep it in mind. I think it's more likely we either just continue down here, come up, tag this, and come back down. But these are the areas you want to watch on the Dow. And yes, Bitcoin depends a lot on what the Dow does. Whether anyone likes to admit that or wants to admit that, it's a fact. But if we break below this bottom trend line, then we are looking towards the 30-point range, or 30,000, 31,000 point range for the Dow. That's a pretty dramatic fall. And I think we'd go much lower than that if we do that. So again, you can see this is the 4-hour chart over here, daily over here. You can see the higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI, which that could be it played out, but I think we got further to go. DXY. DXY is right now on our 55 EMA is supported around 95.56. If we do get that other pump in the Dow, like I said, up to that 37,000 range, this may come back and retest this main trend line here, and that's going to be around the 94. Let's see, could be as low as 94.50 to 94.60 range for the DXY. If it breaks that, then we possibly could be going much higher in most markets, but I would look for support here if the 55 EMA breaks. And that may take a long time. This is the daily chart. It could take weeks. 200 EMA could come up to here. But as of right now, until we break on the daily, 95.58 on the DXY, we're still safe, sitting on that 55 EMA. Gold looks like it's coming back up to test that golden pocket again. That's 1832. If it's able to break that golden pocket, the next point of resistance is going to be around 1851 for those of you that watch gold. But first, like I said, this is probably going to be a pretty tough area to break. If that does break, I expect to or if it does break, I look for the 1850 range, and then we see what happened. That's the 0.786 off of this drop here. So silver is not looking quite as strong. The 55 in the EMA and the 0.382 fib line up here around 22.95. I look for possible rejection there. If it does break, our next stop is going to be that 23.44. Our golden pocket is at 23.94, which also lines up with the 200 EMA on the daily. So I would look for a rejection there if it gets up that high. As you guys know, I don't trade silver. I just like to watch the markets as a whole. Ethereum did hit our target. It went a little below 32.25. This could be our new resistance. Our 8 EMA is right here about 33.38. If it gets back above that, your next resistance level for Ethereum is going to be around 32.40, which is a 200 EMA on the daily. And then you have the 55 EMA all the way up at 38.28. And it all depends on what Bitcoin does here. If Bitcoin goes down, it's going to drag everything with it. I still believe we're going to see lower lows for Ethereum. As you guys know, my measured move of this rising wedge from the time of the break is right here around 1850. I'm still looking for that. I think the RSI needs to reset a bit. This RSI could come all the way back up to that 3800 range. I'm sure this would move quite a bit further up, and I'm sure we'd get some divergence there and continue back down. But as of right now, guys, watch at 32.25 and 34.91, 35,000 or 3,500. If we can break above that, then we may, go back up close and tag that 4,000 range. But otherwise, if this holds as resistance around that 32,250 area, we could be coming down to our next target about 25.59. Litecoin, I still have this target here. This is the daily, so I'm going to move it up because the trend line moves up, but still around that 110, 111 range. Let me move this up a little bit. Right now, as you can see, Litecoin's getting rejected at 133.35. And mind you, this Litecoin and Ethereum chart are super old. Also, the XRP chart that we're going to look at later is super old. People used to laugh at them, but they are playing out beautifully. Just put that out there. Anyways, the 8 EMA right now is 133.87. We did get rejected there. The 21 EMA is right around 143.79. 55 EMA is around 160.50, and then the 173.55. Now, if it does come back and test this wedge that it fell out of, would be around the 196 range. It's a possibility. Like, again, it depends on what Bitcoin does, but right now it looks like it's getting pretty heavy rejection here. And if this breaks, looking for $20, $25 range, somewhere in that range in the next year or so for Litecoin, if this trend line breaks. XRP, right, let's put this up here, see where it's at. Right around the 81-cent range is this trend line. Again, if we can get above that, then it could possibly be bullish. But in the long run here, XRP, the important number is about $1.13. If it can break above that, then you can get super bullish for a bit on it. But as of right now, if it's under 81 to 82 cents, it's still pretty bearish there, guys. Our 55 EMA, well, let's put it this way. 94 cents up here at the 200 EMA. If it breaks that, like I said, then I'd start looking for the 113. But otherwise, until we pass 81, I still think in the next year or so, we're going to be seeing down to these ranges for XRP. So remember, I said if it breaks that 113, the target could be extremely high. Could get that bull run that everybody's talking about with XRP. But even that would not break the old all-time high. So be cautious, be aware. I'm going to remain bearish on all of these assets unless they cross the numbers I was just talking about. So have a great day. I hope this video helps you out. I hope you learned something. I do appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tick your notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm out.